There's a lot of jockeying amongst the biggest car companies in the world. They all want to get bigger in the belief that this will give them the economy of scale they need to have the lowest costs and the highest profits. So how do they stack up against each other? Let's take a look. When it comes to who sold the most cars, trucks, and buses last year, then Toyota takes the top spot with a 400,000 unit lead over Volkswagen. What makes Toyota's performance all the more impressive is that all Japanese automakers suffered lower sales in China last year when consumers boycotted their cars because of a dispute between China and Japan over some islands. VW motored past GM to take the second spot, and then there's a big drop-off to Nissan Renault. And then look at this. Hyundai Kia have now surpassed the Ford Motor Company in global sales, as well as Fiat Chrysler and Honda. Another way to rank the car companies is by the amount of revenue or money that they take in. And guess what? Toyota is still at the top of the list, or at least it likely will be. Japanese automakers operate on a fiscal year that concludes at the end of March, so this revenue number is what Toyota says it will hit. But in my experience, when Toyota says it's going to hit a number, it hits it. So I'll take them at their word. VW is in second place, but looky here, Nissan Renault pulled in more money than General Motors. Now that is quite unexpected. Then come Ford, Honda, and Fiat. Amazingly, the Hyundai Group is way behind the other big companies. Presumably, Hyundai does not pull in as much money because it sells so many lower-priced cars, especially in Asia. And if we rank the automakers by their net profit, then once again, Toyota is at the top of the list with more than $10 billion dropping to the bottom line. Then there's a big drop-off to VW and Hyundai Kia, but the Hyundai numbers are extremely impressive considering how small its revenue number is. Hyundai has the highest corporate profit margins of all the major companies, and by a wide margin. Ford is solidly ahead of GM, and Honda is hot on GM's heels, and Fiat trails the rest mainly because of its problems in Europe. When you look at all these rankings, it's clear Toyota is the biggest car company in the world, and we also have learned that the Hyundai Group is growing faster than all of the rest. I got all this information out of each company's financial earnings, press releases, and media reports. I made certain assumptions on currency exchanges when these were not provided by the companies. I also adjusted the Japanese numbers to account for their different fiscal year. So when the Japanese post their final figures, these numbers could change a little bit, but I don't think they'll change any of these rankings. And I hope you find these rankings as interesting as I do, because there's some real surprises here.